come here and start arguing law. You understand? You're starting to talk privileges then. But if you're a citizen, and you can only be a citizen, then you can be a natural citizen of the land, and you can be a political citizen of an organized government. Both of which, and more to the second than the first, requires proof. You know, it is no different than, you know, like under a colorable jurisdiction, like say, for instance, like in a jurisdiction where they steal the people's rights of travel and then incorporate the person and then put them in a commercial entity and then regulate the people's right of travel and then rob them that way under the guise of law. And then if a private security officer, because they're not officers really, so that's wrong. If a private security agents, which they call police, because they're not elected, so they're not officers, stops a person, whether you call them citizen or not, stops a person and asks that person where is their license, well, the person should also ask them who is your delegation of authority order, because that's where they're supposed to have received certified authority from the Congress of the United States, Republican form of government, that they have a right to even question the citizens under limited conditions for security purposes only, and if you committed a crime. And only one can really do that is a sheriff and anyone he deputizes, because he's the only true law according to the law. Do you understand? Anyone else is just another citizen of some private corporate agencies that's talking trash, because they don't have a right to question the citizens. See the difference between a Republican form of government and a democracy? And why they always run around telling you about a democracy? It's not a democracy. No democracy was established here. I don't know what anyone's talking about, except that somebody's been setting you up to steal your birthrights. And as soon as a politician, I don't care who they are, start running their mouth and start saying democracy, immediately recognize that they're an enemy. Forget about what they say. Forget about whether they're smiling. Forget about whether they're nice guys. They belong to the secret society of clubs of inquisitionists whose mission was to overthrow the United States Republic. Do you understand? And to institute and maintain slavery bureaucratically. Do you understand? I don't care if they say something in your favor. Do you understand? Don't be deceived.
The bottom line is the same.
Exactly correct. Now that's for a start. That's for starters. So that's for starters. So one of the first things that we're going to do to start correcting this thing is anyone who claims to have any capacity, authoritative capacity in government, they don't move on anything with you without you questioning them right on down the line, starting off with their nationality card, their DOAO, Delegation of Authority Order, certified number to the Congress of the United States Republic or agency where their authority can be verified on the public record. And if it can't be, or if they're not forthcoming with it, or they don't have it in their possession, you have no problem with that. That person at that time has no authority, no different than if they stop a person under color of law on the street, asking them for a license, and they don't have a license according to the colorable contract that they forced the people into. They're not supposed to be driving on the street. Am I correct? Likewise, if they don't have a DOAO, they're not supposed to be operating in government.
Excuse me. Name that again so you can write that down. I got an
Here you go.
card, delegation of authority.
Delegation of authority order. And what that would be, what they would claim a license would be to a slave on the street to travel the land, is what that is to anybody who says they have any authority in the first place. You don't know. There's a person that came from McDonald's down there. You know, the guy was back there sweeping the grease out of the grease pit back there down at McDonald's. And he went around the other side, put on a uniform, jumped in the car, and went to stop you and start telling you you owe him something? Like a highwayman? Well, DOAO, with verifiable numbers, is what identifies that person. So if somebody pulls out some ID and tells you, well, I'm an agent of the pt4 of the left-hand side of the Ostbasseldorf of the United States. And you say, oh, please, don't say that again. I'm so nervous. There's so much money. You know, don't even go there. You ask them for ID, and a driver's license is not an ID. That verifies that you have a contract with a private corporation. Do you understand? That politicians have a contract with to get a kickback for robbing you, forcing you into contracts with private institutions, which they don't have the authority to do, but they did it.
Ooh.
You get the point?
Say that one again. Say it. Just move it slow, please.
Politicians who were slaveholders dumb the people down, saying this is a democracy. They created an admiralty court called traffic court, listed it under crimes, because the Constitution only allows a criminal court and a civil court. And you can't try a civil case in a criminal court, and you can't try a criminal case in a civil court, can you? Now, where did the Constitution set up traffic court? To stop the people for freedom of passage on the land.
That's right.
Apartheid. So they created traffic court, which really is an apartheid court. So that slaves, so-called slaves, could never be free. Because if they could stop your movement, just like you dam up a river on a stream, you create death. Because movement is life. And so you can regulate the economy simply. If I want to break your family up, all I got to do is send out a fake officer to keep stopping you on the corner, take your license, and you can't make a living. But they never had that right. Government never had that right. Now these are private, corporate entities that operating on private charter that's using supreme law of the land to interfere with the rights of the citizens and the natural people and robbing them legally. Not lawfully, legally. Legal and lawful is not the same thing. So don't get that caught up either. Do you understand? Because the supreme law is the Constitution. Now, let's look at this. Now, let's back to this other point. And the key thing, because I know you already know certain things already. So the first issue with an issue of controversy is the status. That means, who are you? Are you a party to the matter? Not only, who are you? The party. Oh, you're Russian? Oh, no problem with that. Where's your documents that say it? Not your mouth. That's how you challenge jurisdiction. You don't say, I challenge the jurisdiction. You challenge the jurisdiction understanding these principles. You get the point? So, if you say you have authority, I'm not going to argue with that. Oh, no problem. I have no problem whatsoever. Alisa, yes. I have no problem with that whatsoever. She just said I had to do something. Here's my nationality card. Now put yours there. Because nationality is where the birthright is. And for the law to be governing you, then you must be part of a nation. Am I correct? Then if you say if you're Russian, you're not saying that you're what? Asiatic? Because we're all Asiatic. But that's not the point. Russia is a part of Asia. Am I correct? Okay. Below it is India. Am I correct? Which ain't India. That's Hindustan. Right? Yeah. Am I correct?
Yeah.
Oh, and so, where's your nationality card? So how are you going to be talking the law of a land that gives authority and you haven't even proven who you are? Because this is a jurisdiction of diversity.
Why do you have to prove who you are? You have God-given birthright.
Can I go to Russia? Can I go to Misraim? Can I go to Saudi Arabia? Can I go to different parts of the world, many of where I'll be accepted as one of the people, unless by accent or by culture, they recognize that I come from another area? Do you understand what I'm saying to you? And start demanding issues of law, and I haven't proven who I am? The first issue is status. Who am I? So now we've established who we are, right? Just like if we're coming in the issue of controversy, right, Griswold, as an example. Just like, say, for instance, in any issue of a legal or lawful issue, when you present yourself, that's really status, although they've corrupted it. So you present yourself. Now, the reason why, quote unquote, as it has been in United States processes of law, why Negroes, blacks, and coloreds could not represent themselves in court, because Negro, black, and colored